Dr. Francis Collins, who led the Human Genome Project, speaks openly of his Christian faith, seeing DNA as the language of God.
Gaze into the cosmos, and you witness a universe governed by immutable laws. From the gravitational ballet of galaxies to the quantum dance of subatomic particles, an elegant order prevails. But are we merely discerning pre-existing truths, like a child in Einstein's vast library, dimly suspecting a hidden structure? Or does this exquisite precision hint at something more profound, a universe crafted with observers in mind?
This fundamental question lies at the heart of humanity's oldest inquiries, bridging the empirical world of science with the transcendent realm of the divine. Our journey begins here, where wonder meets equations. Long before microscopes and telescopes, ancient traditions posited humanity's unique status. Theological doctrines, notably the Imago Dei, the image of God, articulate that we are wired for relationship, creativity, and stewardship. As the Vatican's International Theological Commission affirms, humans are created to enjoy personal communion and to exercise, in God's name, responsible stewardship. This isn't mere poetic language, it asserts a fundamental blueprint, a divine endowment that enables us to mirror the Creator's nature. This spiritual foundation laid the groundwork for seeking order and purpose in the world around us. The scientific revolution, often perceived as an antagonist to faith, was initially driven by it. Nicholas Copernicus, who placed the sun at the center of our system, saw learning the wonderful workings of God's laws as an acceptable mode of worship. Galileo Galilei, despite his later conflicts, insisted that God has not intended us to forego their use when bestowing reason. Isaac Newton, whose laws defined gravity and motion, dedicated vast intellect to theology. For these foundational figures, scientific inquiry wasn't separate from spiritual devotion but rather a profound exploration of the Creator's handiwork, inspiring deep reverence. Through the Enlightenment, the spirit of inquiry continued, often hand in hand with theological reflection. Natural philosophers like Robert Boyle, a pioneer of modern chemistry, conducted meticulous experiments, believing they were uncovering the intricate mechanisms of God's grand design. Carl Linnaeus meticulously categorized the natural world, viewing taxonomy as an act of piety, revealing the Creator's ordered beauty. This era saw science as a powerful lens through which the universe's inherent logic and fine-tuned regularities, often seen as divine fingerprints, became increasingly evident. The more they discovered, the more awe they felt. The 19th century brought significant shifts. New geological findings, like Charles Lyell's uniformitarianism, challenged literal interpretations of Earth's age. Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection presented a mechanism for biological complexity without direct divine intervention, sparking intense debate. These scientific advancements, rather than being seen as deeper revelations of natural law, began to be framed as direct challenges to established religious dogma. The God of the Gaps argument, where divine action was invoked only for unexplained phenomena, started losing ground, paving the way for perceived conflict. By the 20th century, the narrative of conflict between science and religion became entrenched in popular imagination and segments of academia. The Scopes monkey trial in 1925 epitomized this public clash, pitting evolutionary biology against creationist viewpoints. With the rise of logical positivism and an increasing emphasis on purely material explanations, many scientific institutions implicitly or explicitly adopted a secular stance. Theology was often relegated to the realm of subjective belief, seen as incompatible with empirical fact. The grand collaboration of previous centuries seemed to have fractured irrevocably. Yet, the conflict narrative rarely tells the whole story. Today, countless scientists of faith bridge this perceived divide. Dr. Francis Collins, who led the Human Genome Project, speaks openly of his Christian faith, seeing DNA as the language of God. Physicist priest John Polkinghorne argues that science is possible because the universe is a divine creation. Institutions like Eastern Mennonite University actively connect scientific learning with scriptural understanding, viewing science as the study of God's handiwork and humanity as stewards of creation. For them, faith informs inquiry, and discovery inspires worship. The dialogue around science and faith is significantly shaped by powerful institutions. Major universities, scientific academies, and theological commissions all contribute to the narrative. The Vatican's International Theological Commission, for instance, actively explores how faith informs stewardship and human purpose in the modern world. Academic publishing houses and influential media outlets disseminate particular perspectives, either reinforcing a conflict model or fostering constructive engagement. These bodies wield considerable influence, determining which voices are amplified and which lines of inquiry are pursued, fundamentally impacting public understanding.
The Western conflict narrative isn't universally shared.
Eastern Christian traditions, with their emphasis on theosis or deification, offer a profound view that through Christ, we are called to become by grace what God is by nature. This perspective, articulated by Athanasius, offers a spiritual destiny rooted in divine participation. Historically, the Islamic Golden Age saw immense scientific advancement, often framed as uncovering the signs of Allah in creation. Across the globe, diverse cultures and faiths offer rich, non-dichotomous ways of integrating scientific discovery with spiritual meaning, demonstrating a broader human pursuit of truth. The flow of funding significantly influences the science and religion dialogue. Foundations like the John Templeton Foundation invest millions globally to foster research and public discourse at the intersection of science, philosophy, and theology, actively seeking common ground. Conversely, government research grants and corporate funding for specific scientific fields may prioritize purely materialistic or utilitarian outcomes, inadvertently marginalizing spiritual or ethical dimensions. Where money flows, research priorities are set, and the nature of the conversation is subtly steered, impacting everything from AI ethics to climate science initiatives. In recent decades, a significant shift has occurred. The simplistic science versus religion narrative is increasingly giving way to a more nuanced, collaborative approach. Interdisciplinary initiatives, academic centers, and public engagement programs now actively explore the complex relationships between scientific findings and theological insights. There's a growing recognition that science answers how, while theology addresses why, offering complementary truths. This move towards integration, driven by open dialogue and mutual respect, underscores a shared human commitment to understanding the universe and our place within it. Even with our unparalleled scientific advancements, the universe retains its profound mysteries. The exquisite fine-tuning of cosmic constants, allowing for stable atoms and life-sustaining elements, continues to perplex and inspire. Does this point to an ultimate designer, or merely a rare outcome in a vast multiverse? Science can describe these wonders, but the why, the ultimate purpose and meaning, often transcends empirical observation. Our journey into the cosmos, then, remains an unending quest, one that invites both rigorous inquiry and a humble, abiding sense of wonder at the divine mystery that still lies just beyond our grasp.